Back in my day, when we wanted to watch something in school, we had to carry these little babies up the hill through the snow against the wind.
Okay, Boomer. Before we start this video, I want you to be aware that there is a reason why it says on the back side that you should disassemble this and there are no user serviceable parts inside. Especially as far as I know, there's about 27,000 volts. So even if that would be at 1 milliamp, so that would be around 27 watts that would hit you. So it wouldn't be pleasant, and I don't want to see anyone with their smoking curbs having this video played in the background. So yeah, just make sure that you're qualified enough to handle something like this. Okay, let's disassemble this and take a look inside. But firstly, we shall see what's wrong with this unit and how I can fix it. I'm trying to fix this maybe for some old retro consoles to have a nice TV to play this on. We shall see. When it starts up, all seems nice and dandy. If I switch to AV, you should be able to see, yeah, here we go, PS3. So it's even in color and everything. And you can even play some games. So let's see, I have an Oblivion disc here. And it loads up just fine, but as you can see, there is some problem with the H-blank, because you know all these bars running around, it would just mean that there's a problem with the blanking signal. As you can see, Oblivion is running okay. At least it doesn't drop any frames in SD graphics, and it's all seems fine right now. But there will come a moment when the TV, I think the capacitors heats up and the H-blank goes. Simply goes, and you won't be able to see anything at all here. So if I just wait for a moment here, you should probably see that. It often happens when the, let's say, resolution change, so the signal drops in and out. Let me just try to trigger this. Yeah, there you go, there you have it. It can't hold the H-blank at all, so I guess we have some capacitors to check.
As you can see, the way with a modular design, this can be completely removed from even from the back end, but obviously you won't be able to remove the board inside. But they also had an additional part with the cinch jacks and also with the selector, the BG DK, that's I think Belgium and Danish PAL standard, and the antenna socket. So they basically made this TV for different markets and wanted to have this little board on the outside to have those replaced easily. Let me remove the screws. Okay, I'm inside, and this part will be a little bit shaky. What I wanted to show you is I have no idea what was going on this production line. This is the capacitor C, 2 wires. A lot of them are just put down at an angle. I'm not sure, is it on purpose, or I can switch it over. I can turn it over because the one leg is too long, and there is also a little switch that has normal on one side and service on the other. We will see what it does because I'm curious. Apart from that, this is the connector for the cinch, so I will be tracing the tracks from here. But there are no obvious shit stains anywhere. Nothing seems to be burned apart from that part back over there, but that's part of the power supply, and that looks alright generally. And other than that, this seems to be fine. I'll be looking around to find something out of ordinary. And let me go back a little bit. This is where your high voltage lives, in the CRT part. and this would regulate probably your screen, the horizontal size, the vertical, and so on. I will try to clean this up a little more, but I don't really have access to everything back in there. Well, this switch doesn't do anything, almost. It's, I guess, for calibration, just a red line. Let me go back to here. Sorry for the mess. Well, the thing is, it's not amazingly great to clean up everything over here, because it doesn't look too good. This is what caused the issue. Let me go to the TV and try to mess around with this a bit. As you can see, I have the image now. And if I mess with this, it basically scrolls left and right. And the slider was dirty, and when it heats up, the dirt here simply caused it to stop conducting. And this little thing over here, the slider, let me show you on the screen, because it's really interesting. Yeah, see that? You can move around the screen left and right, because last time I couldn't see the icon in top corner. Okay, let's go back to this one and keeping messing with the sliders, because I think it's a good idea to check all of them just in case some will stop working in the future. Let me go back. Yeah, that's the one at the top of the screen. You can go to 60.9 with this one, but it's a 4.3 TV, so let's keep it the same. And let's mess with other sliders like this one here. It doesn't do anything. Maybe it is for sound. Over here doesn't seem to do anything, and this little one seems to be for VSync. I'm curious about this one. Let's try it out, but I have to watch out for the all my high voltage part of the CRT. I'll be messing with it. Yeah, that's for color. I'm not sure if you're can you see? Gray, colorful. That's interesting. So the part of this are settings that are already built into in the TV, which is quite interesting. Let me find other ones to mess about, because what I would like to see here is a slider that would let me adjust the width of the screen, but I'm not sure if I will be able to find this. It turns out that I was wrong about those sliders. Let me test them out for you. They are for color only, so presumably, because that should be the color of the TV. So let me slide this a little bit. Try to find an angle. See, it gets redder. That's for the red one. That's for, I think, green, because it loses the green on the yellow socket. I mean, the change thing. And this is the blue one, so it will also very blue image. That's really interesting. And those the remaining are similar settings. Sorry for the flicker. That's the I guess brightness in this instance. That would be the hue. Well, that's pretty interesting. So all those four sliders are basically doing the same thing you ordinarily do in image processing. That's probably where they came from. And unfortunately, that's all. I don't see any other sliders that I can mess about apart from this one, but this does seems to be from the power supply. I guess that's all, guys. But there was just a problem with a slider on the board. Let me just pack this back up. One thing, most of those boards just can be removed by sliding outwards from the case. The case is made from wood. I wouldn't suspect that. I thought it was some kind of painted plastic, and that's really curious. So let me put it back together and let's enjoy some games. Small note about the video. I was using for all stuff connected to the mains this extension cord because and it's very important whenever you use something like this because it switches off both live and neutral. The protection pin is still connected, so that's perfectly fine. How you can check this, just switch it to 0 and check with continuity if you don't have continuity on both pins. That's really important. Also, I was using those gloves. Well, it was really dirty, so I went with those. They're rubberized on the front, and I wouldn't touch with my bare skins any other part of the CRT, and that's important. So I won't be shocked, or at least I would feel something, but not exactly be shocked directly. I would recommend latex gloves if you have something cleaner to work with. And also I was using only the electrician screwdriver. How they differ, they are insulated and on the shaft right here, and the difference also between mechanic screwdriver and this one is basically mechanic isn't insulated at all. You will have something like a nut over here, so you can use a wrench and put more strain on the screw, and that's this. I do recommend those, or at least use an isolation tape on the shaft when you're doing anything like that, so you won't short anything, because when you are screwing you can accidentally touch a capacitor and it will short everything out. Yeah, let's move on to the CRT footage. Sorry guys, I reviewed the footage, and what I noticed, there are a lot of I think that's called tearing on the video, because looking at the moments when I was moving around the camera and in the what's basically dust and a little bit of printed circuit board. Sorry about it. It was due to software on my. Oh man, it was due to software on my camera. Yeah, let me reset here. So I will be using only the built-in recorder from now on, and I also switched the camera I'm using to record this to the Sony camera I was using before, because the one in my phone simply didn't it couldn't deal with the I think that's 25 FPS, because it's 50, but it's not 50 progressive, so it's interlaced, I guess, then 25. It was really weird, and the first footage I have is kind of unreadable, but you should see improvement right here. I'm trying to talk, so my drive is getting great, but as you can see, we can do some retro gaming. PS3 is retro by now, right? It has over 10 years. So yeah, it looks fine, but to be honest, after some time I noticed something, that there is a reason why we are using LCDs right now, or other technologies than CRTs, because you will the eyes really tires, because most of the TVs back in the day had really low frame rates. So the 50 in Europe and 60 in US was the what most of people had. You could have CRT monitor with 200 plus refresh rate, but I guess that's not what most people did experience back in the day. So, and there you have it. And this is fixed, but eyes really tires when you use something like this, and that's what I noticed. It may be a good idea to use something like a CRT before bedtime, just so you won't get that blue LED light. I guess that would be an improvement, maybe on your sleep pattern, but I can't really find a way to connect any newer devices without the scaler or some similar device, because you would have to have an external converter for this. But otherwise, it works really great. I think the PS3 is rendering the games at the lower resolution for some reason, even though it's most of the games is 720p, but it will render at PAL resolution, as you can see. Some stuff would be kind of weird, but otherwise they are all playable. You would have a better frame rates on PS3 like this, because as you know, there are some games where PS3 can drop to 20s and 10s of frames when something is going on the screen. Oh, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And again, sorry for the mess when I was filming everything. Sorry for the tearing. I will make sure that my next video won't have this. And also, make sure that whenever you service anything like that, you will proceed with a caution, because it's not exactly safe to fix the older stuff, especially since they're using high frequency at high frequencies and high voltages. So yeah, take care, guys. Bye.